Today I'm going to show you 13 tricks to save gasoline with your motorcycle, from basic adjustments to changes in your riding style that will be noticeable in your wallet. If you want to spend less on fuel and keep enjoying, stick around. Trick number 13, weight matters too. The bike is not a moving van. This is a detail that few take into account, but that influences more than it seems. Carrying unnecessary weight on the motorcycle increases fuel consumption. A top case full of things you don't use, saddlebags with the week's groceries, a heavy backpack, all that adds kilos, and the engine has to work harder to move them. If you don't need something for the trip you're going to take, leave it at home. Take only the essentials. You also have to be careful with modifications that add weight to the bike, like extra crash bars, auxiliary lights, or sound systems. All that extra weight translates into more consumption. If you usually ride with the bike loaded, check tire pressure, because with more weight, you need more pressure to compensate. And if you're going to travel with luggage, try to distribute the weight evenly so you don't overload one side. The motorcycle is not a car. It's not designed to carry 50 kilos of unnecessary junk. Traveling light not only saves gas, but also improves handling and safety. Trick number 12. Don't accelerate unnecessarily, not even for fun. It seems obvious, but the number of riders who full throttle at every traffic light as if they were on a starting grid is surprising. You don't need to go to 10,000 revolutions per minute to reach the next traffic light. Every time you open the throttle fully, you are literally burning money. The engine needs more fuel to generate that extra power, and if you do it constantly, your consumption skyrockets. The key is to accelerate progressively, smoothly, without rushing. It's not about going like a turtle. It's about not demanding more from the engine than necessary. When the light turns green, accelerate smoothly. Let the bike pick up speed naturally. You don't need to leave everyone behind in the first 5 meters. The savings start right there in how you use the right grip. Some think that going fast is synonymous with being a good rider, but in reality, a good rider knows when to accelerate and when not to. The throttle is not an on-off switch, it's a regulator, and using it smoothly is the first rule to save fuel. Trick number 11, keep tire pressure just right. Tire pressure is one of the factors that most influences fuel consumption and that fewer people check. An underinflated tire increases the contact surface with the asphalt, creating more friction and forcing the engine to work harder to move the bike. That extra effort translates into more gas. According to several studies, a tire with half a bar less than recommended can increase consumption by 5 to 10%. It doesn't seem like much, but at the end of the year, it's dozens of liters of gas thrown away. On the other hand, an overinflated tire reduces the contact surface, improves consumption, but worsens grip and safety. The sweet spot is what the manufacturer recommends for your bike and load. Check the pressure at least once a month and always cold, because pressure increases with the heat of riding and will give you a false reading. A simple pressure gauge costing a few dollars can save you a lot of money on gas over the course of a year. And if your bike has been sitting for a long time, check the pressure before you leave, because tires lose air slowly even without use. Trick number 10, ride in higher gears and relax the engine. Many riders have the bad habit of always riding with the engine revving high, as if they were on a racetrack. Riding in higher gears, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, allows the engine to run more relaxed with fewer revs and therefore consuming less fuel. The idea is to ride in the highest gear possible without the engine bogging down or losing response. If you're going 40 miles per hour and you're in 3rd, shift up to 4th. If you're going 50 miles per hour and you're in 4th, shift up to 5th. Each engine has its sweet spot, that rev range where the engine is most efficient, usually between 3,000 and 5,000 revolutions per minute for most street bikes. Stay in that range and you'll see your consumption drop noticeably. That doesn't mean you have to ride at cruising revs constantly. If you need to overtake or climb a mountain pass, downshift and use the power, but as soon as you can, go back to the higher gear. Riding in higher gears not only saves fuel, but also reduces engine wear and makes riding more relaxed and enjoyable. If you want to save money on gas without giving up riding your bike, this video interests you, hit like right now and hit the hype button so more people learn to stretch every liter of fuel. With gas prices what they are, every little trick counts. Trick number 9, take care of aerodynamics. Clothing matters too. Aerodynamics is one of the most ignored factors when talking about fuel consumption, and it has a huge impact, especially above 50 miles per hour. When you're going fast, the wind becomes your worst enemy, and the more resistance you offer, the more fuel you need to maintain speed. That's where clothing comes in. Loose, baggy jackets, wide pants, layers that puff up in the wind, all that creates drag and increases consumption. A well-fitted motorcycle jacket with good closures at the sleeves and waist greatly reduces wind resistance. The same goes for the helmet. A helmet with good aerodynamics also helps. It's not about dressing like you're going to a race, but about avoiding clothes puffing up like a balloon at 60 miles per hour. And if you carry saddlebags or luggage, try to make them as aerodynamic as possible. Square bags create a lot of drag. Even your riding position influences it. The more upright you sit, the more wind resistance. A slightly forward-leaning position improves aerodynamics and reduces consumption. These are small details that add up. Trick number 8, don't rev match when downshifting. It's a waste of fuel. There's a very common mistake that many people make without realizing it, and that wastes fuel unnecessarily. When you are going to downshift to reduce speed, you don't need to blip the throttle. Some riders, out of habit or inertia, give a little throttle on each downshift. That throttle blip does nothing if what you want is to reduce speed. It's just burning fuel with no benefit. The rev matching technique makes sense in sporty riding to match revs and make smoother shifts, but in normal riding, when you only want to slow down for a corner or a roundabout, you don't need to blip the throttle. Simply release the throttle, pull the clutch, downshift, and release the clutch smoothly, letting engine braking do the work. That small throttle blip that many do on each downshift may seem insignificant, but if you do it dozens of times on each ride, by the end of the day, it's several liters of gas burned for nothing. Learn to distinguish when you need to rev match and when you just want to slow down. For daily riding, most of the time you don't need to blip the throttle when downshifting. Trick number 7, check and lubricate the chain regularly. The chain is responsible for transmitting power from the engine to the rear wheel, and if it's not in good condition, part of that power is lost to friction. A dry, dirty, or poorly tensioned chain creates drag, and that drag translates into more engine effort and higher fuel consumption. A well-lubricated and properly tensioned chain reduces friction to a minimum, allowing power to reach the wheel with maximum efficiency. The difference can be up to 5% in consumption, which, combined with other factors, can be noticeable. Lubricating the chain is not just to make it last longer, it's to make the bike use less fuel. At least once a month or every 300 miles, clean the chain and apply specific lubricant. You don't need to spend a fortune. Thick gear oil works very well and is much cheaper than name brand sprays. And check the tension. A chain that's too loose or too tight also increases consumption. A chain in good condition not only saves gas, but also makes the bike respond better and the ride smoother. Trick number 6, anticipate traffic lights and stops. Don't race to brake. One of the habits that wastes the most fuel is accelerating hard to get to a traffic light faster and then having to brake abruptly because it's red. That energy you use to accelerate turns into heat on the brake discs, and that heat is gas you've thrown away. The efficient riding technique is based on anticipating traffic. Look ahead, watch the lights. If you see it's red or about to change, lift off the throttle and let the bike slow down with engine braking. You'll reach the light just as it turns green without having had to stop completely, and that's a huge saving. In the city, where there are traffic lights every few hundred yards, this technique can significantly reduce fuel consumption. It's not about going slower, it's about not accelerating to brake. That's the difference between an efficient rider and one who wastes fuel. Many times, instead of racing to get there earlier, if you maintain a constant, smooth speed, you arrive at practically the same time but with much less consumption. We've already seen several tricks to save fuel. I want to know if this is providing value to you. Write the word save in the comments if any of these tricks is going to help you spend less on fuel. Your experience can help other riders stretch every liter and not throw money away on unnecessary gas. Trick number 5, the air filter influences fuel consumption more than you think. The air filter is responsible for the engine breathing well, and if it's dirty, the engine doesn't get enough oxygen and has to compensate with more fuel, increasing consumption. A clogged air filter can increase consumption by up to 10%, and it also reduces power and engine response. The solution is very simple. Check the filter every time you change the oil, or at least once a year. If it's dirty, change it. It costs a few dollars, and the difference is noticeable. If your bike allows it, clean the filter with compressed air following the manufacturer's instructions. Also be careful with high flow filters, those that promise more power and a more aggressive sound. They usually let more air through, which in theory gives more power, but they also tend to increase consumption. If you install a high flow filter without modifying the ECU, the air-fuel mixture becomes unbalanced and the engine uses more fuel. If your priority is saving, stick with the original filter or a good quality equivalent. An engine that breathes well is an engine that uses less fuel. Trick number 4, keep the engine synchronized. An out-of-tune bike uses more fuel. Bikes with more than one cylinder need the cylinders to be synchronized, meaning they all work at the same rhythm. If the synchronization is out of adjustment, one cylinder may be working harder than another, and the engine loses efficiency, burning more fuel to deliver the same power. The most common symptoms of poor synchronization are irregular idle, abnormal vibrations, and imprecise throttle response. Synchronization is not something done every week, but it should be done at certain mileage intervals as recommended by the manufacturer. Many times when a bike suddenly starts consuming more for no apparent reason, the problem is in the synchronization or the valve adjustment. If you don't feel capable of doing it yourself, take it to a trusted shop. The cost of a synchronization is small compared to what you spend extra on gas over months. And if your bike is a single cylinder, this point doesn't apply, but valve adjustment does, which also affects consumption. Trick number 3, keep a fuel consumption log, the best indicator of problems. The best way to know if your consumption is increasing is to keep a log. Note the miles you do with each tank and the liters you put in. The calculation is simple, miles divided by liters. If you normally do 250 miles on a tank and suddenly you do 220, something is happening. It could be a dirty air filter, underinflated tires, a poorly tensioned chain, or something more serious. Keeping a log doesn't take you even a minute, but it's one of the most useful tools to detect problems before they become expensive breakdowns. It also helps you know when you're riding efficiently and when you're wasting fuel. If one day you ride on the open road and do more miles than normal, you know you rode well. If one day in the city you use more than usual, it could be because of traffic, but if consumption skyrockets for no reason, something is wrong. The consumption log is your best ally to save fuel and keep your bike in good condition. Trick number 2, fill the tank halfway. Don't wait until it's empty. This trick is more about psychology than mechanics, but it works. If you wait until the tank is almost empty to fill up, you always end up filling it to the top, and that adds weight. Filling the tank to the top adds weight to the bike, and that extra weight translates into more consumption, especially in the city with constant stops and starts. The idea is not to wait until the tank is empty. When you get to half a tank, fill up. That way you always carry the weight of fuel under control, and you're not carrying extra liters you don't need. Also, doing it this way allows you to take advantage of days when gas is cheaper or gas stations you trust. Some also recommend not filling the tank to the top because gasoline expands with heat and can evaporate through the ventilation ducts, but that depends on each bike. If you want to be really efficient, fill just what you need for the trip you're going to take and no more. Each liter of gasoline weighs less than a kilo, but on a long trip with several tanks, the difference is noticeable. Trick number 1, ride smoothly. The throttle is not a switch, and we've reached the most important trick of all, the one that encompasses the rest, and the one that truly makes the difference. Ride smoothly. The throttle is not an on-off switch. It's a regulator that needs progressive and controlled movements. Accelerate smoothly, brake smoothly, shift gears smoothly. Smooth riding not only saves fuel, but also causes less wear on brakes, chain, and engine. It's the difference between a rider who enjoys and one who constantly fights with the bike. Think of the throttle as if there were an egg under your hand. If you crack it open suddenly, it breaks. That's how you have to treat the throttle with the same delicacy. It's a mindset shift. It's not about going slower. It's about being more aware of how you use the controls. The next time you go out for a ride, focus on the smoothness of your movements. Accelerate a little less than you normally would, brake a little earlier, and you'll see how your consumption drops without you barely noticing the difference in arrival time. If this video has helped you, share it with that friend who always complains about what they spend on gas, but doesn't take care of their bike or their riding style. Subscribe to Bikes Without Filters if you want more practical tips without hidden advertising. And since you watched this video, check out the video on 5 motorcycle fuel additives that actually work and the 9 that ruin the engine. See you there.